Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all to the session. Today's class, we are going to discuss the new chapter, chapter 11, mensuration. You can take page number 169. Okay. So actually, in this chapter, we are just going to recall the basics what we have discussed previously in your previous grade, and again we are going to learn few extra topics. Okay, just the basics we are going to recall from this. Okay. What is meant by mensuration? Mensuration, from the word itself we can see that there is some measurements. Okay, we have lots and lots of measurements around us, where we have to measure those things and we have to find the answer, and we have to analyze the answer, what is what. So for that purpose we use the technique called mensuration. Okay, so the main purpose of learning the mensuration is to measure the objects. Okay, so for measuring the objects we need some dimensions. What is meant by dimensions? So if you want to measure some objects, we want certain dimensions of certain objects. So the main dimensions what are the dimensions? Length, breadth, side. These are all the dimensions. Using this dimension, we are going to measure the objects. Okay? Using these dimensions, we will find certain measurements. What are those measurements? First one, it is perimeter. Next, it is area. Only perimeter and area you have learnt in your previous classes. Only about perimeter and area we have learnt. The next thing which you will learn from this chapter is volume. Okay, when we are discussing about the perimeter and area, we need only two dimensions. Okay, so object will be two dimension. Okay, for finding area also we need that particular object should be in two dimension. Okay, what is the two dimensions? It will have length and breadth. Using this length and breadth only the calculation will take place. So that using these two dimensions we can easily find the area of the rectangle. So if you multiply side into side, this is one side, this is one side. So both are actually same, but this is one dimension, this is one dimension. So both the dimensions if you multiply, you will get area of the square. So only two dimensions are involved here. Okay, not all the dimensions, only two dimensions are involved here. So for that purpose, you will by using this length and breadth or a side and side, you will find the perimeter and area. So we can say that if you want to find the perimeter and area, the object should be in two dimensions. So now we have discussed what are the dimensions we will use to find the perimeter and area. So actually we will use two dimensions to find the perimeter and area. Okay, so it depends upon the diagram. Okay, for each diagram the dimensions will differ. When it comes to rectangle, you will use length and breadth. When it comes to square, you will use side. When it comes to circle, you will use radius, diameter, like that. The dimensions will differ for each diagrams. Based upon the dimensions, you will find the perimeter and area. Okay, the next measurement is volume. What is the next measurement? It is volume. Okay, so volume is nothing but you should find how much capacity that object holds. Okay, that is actually how much for example, if you take one bucket, okay, if I take one bucket, in this bucket how much water you can fill, that is the volume. Okay, that is the volume. So when it comes to volume, you will use it for three-dimensional objects. Okay, when it comes to volume, you will use it for three-dimensional objects. So what will be the three dimensions? What are the three dimensions you will use in this objects? So many diagrams we will use length, breadth, height. Okay, most of the objects will have all the three measurements. Using these three measurements, we will find the volume of the water which is filled in that object, which is filled in that bucket or anything. Okay, so volume will be in three dimensions. So actually the objects which is around us, many objects which is around us are 3D, where we have three dimensions for that. When it comes to square, we can draw in a plane. This is one plane surface where you can draw a square. It will have side. Okay, so actually you can draw the square in a graph. I'll take a graph. Okay, you know graph, how to draw, right? X-axis will be there, Y-axis will be there. So for a square, we will have only X-axis, Y-axis. Only two axes will be there. So that is what it is called as two-dimensional. Okay, even when it is for rectangle also, we will have X and Y axis. Circle also we will have X and Y axis. Okay, when it comes to cuboid, you know cuboid, what is cuboid? It is the 3D shape of a square. Okay, sorry, cube, not cuboid, it is cube. This is a 3D shape of a square. This will have actually X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis. It will have how many axes, children? 3 axes will be there. That is what it is called as three-dimensional. Okay, the main thing, children. So that so we have 2D figures also. That 2D figure can be transformed to 3D figure when we have one extra one dimension. Okay, here you have 2 dimensions. When you have 3 dimensions, it will be converted. So for a square, your 3D shape is cube. For rectangle, the 3D shape is cuboid. For circle, the 3D shape is sphere, like a ball. So for each figures, we have 3D shapes. So when it comes to 3D shape, you will use the concept called volume. Okay, only for the 3D shapes, you will use the volume. Okay, keep it in your mind. When for 2D shapes, you will use perimeter. For 3D shapes, you will use volume. Okay, next, we are going to see how the formula has derived. First, what is this shape, children? It is a rectangle. What is this shape? It is rectangle. So what all will be there? What is the properties of rectangle? Opposite sides are equal, which means if you have length here, here also it will be length. If it is breadth here, here also it will be breadth. Then all the angles are 90 degree. Yes? Then that's all. You have diagonals which intersect each other. Everything like that. So this is a basic property, which means opposite sides are equal. All the angles are 90 degree. And all the angles are equal, because since everything is 90 degree, all the angles are equal. This is the basic property of rectangle. Other than that, many properties are there, but this is the main thing. Now we are going to find the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter means what? We are going to find the length of the boundary. This shaded region, we are going to find the length. Okay, length of the boundary, only the border we are speaking about, not the region inside it, or just the border we are going to measure it. That is the length of the boundary. So that is called as perimeter. So how you will find the perimeter of the, for rectangle, square, all you have derived at a formula, but for some unknown figures, which means we don't know the names of the figure, means how you will find the perimeter? You will add up all the borders length. Okay, so length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. So 2 length is that, L plus L, 2L plus B plus B, 2B. So you can take 2 outside common, L plus B. Units. So what if it is in centimeter? My answer will be in centimeter. 2 into L plus B. Okay. So length if it is given, breadth it is given, we can easily find the perimeter. Okay. Next comes our area. Area means what? The region inside the boundary. So this is one closed figure. So we have area inside the boundary. Yes. So this shaded region we are going to find. So if you want to find the area, you have to multiply this side and this side. What is this side called as L into B. This region fully you are going to cover, this region fully you are going to cover. If you multiply these two regions, you will get the area. So L into B, length. So area we are getting as length into breadth square units. Why it is square units means, for example, if the length is 5 centimeter, breadth is 4 centimeter means 5 fours are 20, centimeter into centimeter, centimeter square. So you are getting as square units. Okay. Listen children, 5 into 4, 20, centimeter into centimeter. As like we are multiplying the magnitude. Magnitude in physics you might have learned. Magnitude means what? This numbers. That too we have multiplied and we got 20. And centimeter into centimeter I have multiplied. So I got centimeter square. So that is nothing but square centimeter. Centimeter square or square centimeter. So actually your unit is in square units. So always area will have a square units. Next we have found the perimeter and area for rectangle. Next for square. Next for square we are going to do it. What is the properties of square, children? All the 4 sides are equal. So if this is side, this is also side, this is also side, this is also side. All the 4 sides are equal. Then all the 4 angles are equals, which is 90 degree. Then diagonals will also be equal. Okay, these are the basic properties of square which you have to know. Now we'll do with the perimeter. As usual, perimeter means what? Length of the boundary. Yes. So what you will do? You will add all the 4 sides. S plus S plus S plus S. How many S you have added? 4 S. So 4 S units is the perimeter of the square. Okay. So 4S units is the perimeter of the square. Then next is your area. Okay, next is your area. So area I told you, you have to multiply this side and this side like this. Length into breadth, side into side. Side into side. So you keep it in your mind. Perimeter means you will add all the things. Perimeter means area means you will multiply these two corners. Okay, so side into side. So side into side, side square. Yes, a into a square. X into x, x square. So side into side, side square. Square units. Okay, side into side, side square, square units. Anything you can write side into square side or side square. Okay, it depends upon your things. Next, what is the diagram they have given you? Triangle. Triangle means how many angles will be there, children? 3. Okay. So in triangle you have base and you will be having height. Okay. Next is your perimeter. Perimeter of the triangle is entirely different because we have 3 types of triangles. What are the 3 types of triangles? Equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle. Okay, what are the 3 types of triangle? Equilateral, isosceles, scalene. Equilateral means all the 3 sides are equal. Isosceles means 2 sides are equal. Scalene, all unequal, which means all are not equal. It depends upon the sides we are speaking about. Because here we need only the sides, not the angle. Because it's a mensuration. Here we are going to measure only the length, breadth, height like that. Not angles. Okay. So now perimeter. I am adding for equilateral triangle. What is the perimeter? Side plus equilateral triangle. All the 3 sides are equal. Correct? Appo s plus s plus s. You will get 3s. If it is these 2 are equal and this is not equal, now what you will write? S plus a. This is for isosceles. If all the 3 sides are unequal, you will add all the 3 sides like s plus a plus b, like that. So perimeter will differ. So when it comes to the triangle, you just add all the 3 sides. That's enough. Next, area only this matters. Area is half into base into height. How this area comes half into base into height? Square units. There is one story behind that. Because actually when we are taking it from the parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram you know, right? Parallelogram can be divided. First we have found it from the parallelogram only. The formula of the triangle comes from parallelogram, because this is one parallelogram where parallelogram will have base and it has height. Okay, like this height will be there. Okay, parallelogram will have base and height. Okay, from this parallelogram only we are finding the answer for triangle. First you should know the answer. Area of the triangle is half into base into height square units. Now I am going to teach you the parallelogram. So from that we can easily find it. Okay, parallelogram you know, base height. In parallelogram also opposite sides are equal. So when it comes to perimeter, what you will do? You will just add all the 4 sides. Upper 2 base plus 2 height. Upper 2 into base plus height, or 2 into L plus B. Anything, it's okay. Okay. Here height is nothing but the length. Okay, just for the reference only. It is not accurate formula. Just for your reference. When comes, they ask you the perimeter of the parallelogram. Just add all the 4 sides. That's enough. Now comes our area. Area, what I told you, you have to multiply these two, correct? Upper, here base is there, height is there. That's all. Area of the parallelogram is base into height. Upper, this is a parallelogram, children. In this parallelogram, I have divided into 2 triangles. This is one triangle, this is one triangle. Upper, what is the area of one triangle? Half of that BH. Correct? This is one half BH, half BH. Half BH plus half BH, 1 BH. Did you got the idea? So from the area of the parallelogram, we derived the area of the triangle. Okay, so it is very, very, very important how the formula has derived it. Okay. Next comes your circle. Circle, we don't use the word perimeter. So a circle, what are the things you have? You have radius. Using the point and the radius, you will draw a circle. Only if you have the point and radius, you can able to draw the circle. Correct? So now, instead of perimeter, we will use the word circumference. Circumference is nothing but 2 pi r. Okay? Pi is nothing but circumference divided by diameter. Circumference divided by diameter is the pi value, which is nothing but 22 by 7 or 3.14. It is an irrational number. Okay, you might have noticed this. Next, area of the circle. So for that also, pi r square. Okay, pi value you know, r square. So area of the circle is pi r square. So pi is very much important. From the circle and circumference of the circle, how you will find it? You take a thread and you measure from this and you cover this and find the length of that. And diameter you can find easily. If you divide those two, you will get the pi value. Okay, using that pi value and radius which is given, we can find the area of the circle. Area is nothing but the inner region enclosed by the circle. That we can find it. Understood? So today's class we have discussed what is meant by mensuration and few formulas related to perimeter and area. I hope you all understood, children. Thank you.